Michael, Konami is remaking Snake Eater because younger gamers don't know about Metal Gear Solid anymore. I do, but I'm old. Grant Teller Hill over at Insider Gaming. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is an ambitious remake of the legendary stealth action title released on PlayStation 2 in 2004. Yeah, dude, I said I was old. It has been in development at Konami for some time, and amongst ongoing content drops, including screenshots and teaser trailers, it was revealed that it'll be released in full in 2025. That's disappointing. In a recent interview, Metal Gear Solid series producer Noriaki Okamura revealed one of the driving reasons why Konami resolved to remake one of the most iconic games in the series. It was basically our duty. In most of the recent iterations of PlayStation Magazine and circulated by Games Radar, Okamura sat down to talk about all things Metal Gear Solid. He revealed one of the core reasons why Konami decided to remake Metal Gear Solid 3 more than 20 years after it was first released. One of the things that really sparked us to do the remake in general is because the realized that a lot of newer, younger generation of gamers aren't familiar with Metal Gear Solid series anymore. Dude, they're not familiar with it at all. I wouldn't say anymore, at all. Nobody knows Metal Gear unless you were one of the few like us who played Metal Gear back in the day, right? So here we are. It was basically our mission, our duty to kind of continue making sure that the series lives on in the future generations. After all, we leave behind so much more than just DNA, as Solid Snake would say, but again, who is Solid Snake? In the 2000s, Metal Gear Solid 3 became one of the most beloved games, and, well, I talk about all the time, right? Metal Gear Solid was an iconic franchise for myself. It's what kind of what drove me into the gaming industry to start with. To watch it die, Michael, has been a hard one to kind of sit back. Well, I talk about it right now, right? When we kick off the beginning of our show, what do you get it into? Well, man, I'm back into Metal Gear Solid 5 because I'm looking for that stealth. I'm looking for that Snake. And where is Snake? The Snake Eater not coming until next year. Man, I got a big gaping hole to fill when it comes to a stealth series of some sort, right? There just isn't the stealth games hitting like they used to back then. And now we all know that Kojima now has moved on to Kojima Productions, and we're getting Death Stranding 2, some weird horror game with Xbox, and then some eventually a stealth game with PlayStation. That's where he's at. But the separation between Kojima and Konami did not go down well. It burnt that bridge between the two of them, which is very unfortunate. But at the other side of it too, Konami's realizing, hey, we can't just let Metal Gear Solid die.
Yeah, I think the problem is I don't know if Konami understands what remasters are about, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like when you have a remaster, right, it's the people who have already played it, like you, like myself, who are going to go back, all right, I'm so pumped, I'm going to already play this with upscale graphics, looking, 20 years of technology better. Maybe a couple fixes here and there for things that, if you go back and play it, you're like, yeah, that doesn't quite hit the mark for games now. If you want to bring in younger gamers, you need to just give it a new title, right? You need to say, this is a new game. I feel like if you just remaster something, unless it's someone like, for your kids, you're going to say, oh, I love this game, let's go play it, right? But if you're just a young kid who's like, I know Snake from Super Smash Bros., and you see a remaster, you're like, okay. Like, I think if you really wanted to keep this franchise going, and again, I know you've talked about it all the time, maybe the plan is we'll do Snake Eater as a remaster, get people back hyped, then we'll go and do a new game. But I think a remaster is just going to bring in the old heads. It's going to bring in the fans of the franchise who just want something new. Young gamers, you need, put a snake skin in Fortnite and then release a new game, right? Don't release a remaster because they're not going to care about a game that was released before they were born.
I see where you're coming from, and I don't necessarily disagree. However, they need to build the fan base up. And I think one way of doing that is by remaking the game from the ground up, is what they're doing, right? They're going to modernize everything. Because if you just remaster the game and use up-res, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to pull new gamers in because it is the old, almost like tank controls from like Resident Evil back kind of the day, right? It was a different perspective. Now we're getting into, you can play that old school touch if you want to, because I hear they're implementing that into the game, but they are modernizing everything. Redoing all the graphics, redoing the control scheme, redoing. I'm like, yo, you're talking to me, definitely. And I think what their game plan is over at Konami, and this is my thought process. is that they're going to remake from the ground up the series. And then as we, the older school gamers, get in here, start talking about it, hopefully that puts a bug in the younger gamers' ear and say, hey, everybody's talking about this game right now. It's a legendary title. Maybe it is time I check it out. And with modernized controls, they're at a different opportunity now to get in, to hook these people. How many remakes from the ground up do they get into is my question, right? Because as I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5, dude, it looks good. But, right? Because this is PS4? So, like, we're talking long time ago at this point, right? So to modernize that, the controls feel good, most of them, anyways. But graphically, like a huge bump, even though it looks stunning still to this day. But do they go after Metal Gear Solid 3 back down to 1, 2, over to 4 and 5, or do we get 3 and then do they jump into a new game? Becomes a bigger question.